Alright, so Goji Center uploaded a video saying what if Godzilla -1 evolved like legendary Godzilla did. Like that form we see in the new movie. Yeah. That's kind of insane. And this little bastard already shoots nukes out of his face, so it's going to be even more insane once he's evolved, I'm assuming, so it's going to be crazy. But without any further ado, do check out Goji Center, subscribe, they're trying to reach 1.6 mil, and yeah, let's get straight into it. Ooh, photosensitive epilepsy. Ooh.
What if one of the most destructive and ruthless incarnations of Godzilla somehow got even worse? On this episode of Goji Center, we speculate on what could have happened if we blended universes and the vengeful Godzilla from -1 took a trek to the Arctic and got charged up in a similar way to its MonsterVerse counterpart. Shikishima's nightmare is about to get a whole lot worse.
A lot worse.
What if Godzilla -1 evolved?
That would just be
insane.
In
the 2023 film Godzilla -1, we got one of very...
Oh, by the way, guys, do go check out that movie. It is freaking insane. It's so sick. Please do check it out.
Few looks at the Big G before it became so big. Shown in the opening sequence set in 1945, Godzilla was already regarded as something more than a mere giant animal by the people of Odo Island. Regarded as something uncanny and perhaps supernatural by the people of the area, this earlier state of Godzilla already showed fantastic abilities. At over 15 meters tall, some estimated scaling would put this initial form between 550 and 700 tons. Just to hold itself up at that size, let alone moving and regenerating from the nuclear blast, it did in fact require Godzilla to already be drastically tougher than any creature to ever exist. In other words, Shikishima's moment of fear saved his life. Those 20mm cannons wouldn't have done a damn thing even with a headshot. Combined with Godzilla choosing not to attack the plane despite clearly seeing our hero and parts of the novelization fleshing out how it thinks, and it becomes very clear this is not a mere giant dinosaur. In Shintoism, the native belief system in Japan and surrounding islands, the boundary between what is natural and supernatural can be a blurry one. Under the right circumstances, places, people, and even animals can become kami, a word that can mean phenomena, spirit, or god, depending on...
Kami? Gonna take over a country, maybe? Okay, let's figure out what he means by it.
Context. This Godzilla was already uncanny. The film's director, Takashi Yamazaki, said as much. Considering the natives of Odo Island already knew of this giant beast and revered it as such, they might have been onto something.
The heck?
So for the remainder of this
episode,
you may find a clip or two of...
Okay, so I'm not gonna just react to the ad, but do please use their War Thunder codes and whatever. Do support them, please. But let's continue.
Forwarding in time, this Godzilla found itself caught in the blast of Operation Crossroads Baker test. Withstanding the 23 kiloton explosion and radiation, Godzilla's regenerative ability went into overdrive trying to stabilize it. It is here where the film's novelization makes it clear that the resting giant was filled with a terrible resolve once it deduced humans were the cause of this.
Bro. What the heck is this?
Now,
bro, humans cause so much crap. What the heck is wrong with us? Why can't we just you know, chill and stop causing nonsense? Everything would have been so much better if we just decided to not do any dumb shit.
Less animal and more a living curse. Things take a slightly different turn when the now 50.1 meter tall Leviathan turns northward. Maybe the vengeful Kami had sensed something in the northern...
Bro's a midget. How you call him a Leviathan, bro? What?
Ocean that could help with its pains. Something across the Arctic Ocean under the ice caps that would help it get its revenge. Now, in our scenario, the only element from the MonsterVerse is the energy stockpile under White Island we saw in the New Empire. So Midas won't have to square off in a David and Goliath battle with any...
That is a battle -1 would not win, by the way. Even though it's got insane regeneration, it still would not win.
Titans like Tiamat. Taking longer than his Monsterverse counterpart, Godzilla would still soak up nature's bounty of energy to turn it loose on mankind. Becoming this.
Bro, what the? That looks insane.
Now, this hypothetical new state wouldn't look exactly like the evolved Godzilla we know and love, as Godzilla's new look to square up with Scar King's forces was partially an adaptation of copying DNA from Tiamat and further juicing up from a modern nuclear facility.
And becoming a complete beefcake, bro. Bro's hitting the gym. Damn!
Of copying DNA from Tiamat and further juicing up from a modern nuclear facility. Still, the effect would be noticeable all the same. New spines, longer limbs, and a somewhat slimmed down build, and far more destructive potential. -1's infamous blast of a breath attack would take on terrifying new traits too, but we'll get back to that in a minute. And this new look also comes with a few new devastating perks, ones that would carve a path of devastation across the Pacific at an even faster rate than it had in the movie. This turbocharged Godzilla would relentlessly destroy anything it so much as got an indication of. Tellingly, there would be no warning when these attacks happened until the path of wreckage was found. No radio calls, no distress signals, and nothing but claw marks and burned slag left behind of whole warships.
Yes,
and with it attacking both sides with wild abandon and leaving no survivors, both superpowers might mistake Godzilla's actions for those of the other side. World War III might risk breaking out over this rampage with
Bro, that is so real. Each country would just blame the other because they're not gonna wanna release that there's actually monsters. So they're just gonna blame each other just to start a war. These people.
multiple nations hunting the culprit and each
in the movie, of course, not real life.
other. With the sheer number of sea mines still left over from the last war, Shikishima and company would have plenty of work to do. This means the infamous boat attack probably happened more or less the same way it did before, only now with a faster, turbocharged Godzilla on the hunt. If they survive with a timely intervention of the Takao or other ships engaging the monster, Dr. Kenji Noda might notice something when an ominous pink glow appears underwater. A lot of the communication equipment and more advanced electronics would be going haywire. There's a destructive new trait to one of the most destructive atomic breaths ever.
It's even bigger.
Now,
it's
to
pink.
clear up a bit of a misconception circulating the internet, because if it's on the net, it must be true. Different types of radiation, like high-energy gamma rays, don't actually have a color. Color is just a spectrum of light we're able to see, and most high-energy radiation is way outside that spectrum. All colors are a mixture of the two opposite sides of the spectrum, blues at the highest energy and reds at the lowest. Pink is the exception. Pink-colored energy is what your brain perceives when it can't figure out what has a higher energy than blue and a lower energy than red. It's almost like your eyes are glitching. What does this mean?
Okay, epileptic warning. Just too late, but damn. Woo!
In the case where too much pink energy is dangerous. It means a whole spectrum of electromagnetic energy and charged particles is being fired out every time. Not just with much more heat and potentially explosive force that ignites the matter around the beam, but there are also now massive EMP blasts every time Evolved -1 fires. In a modern setting, this would make the Evolved -1 borderline impossible to fight effectively, because every time it uses its breath or exerts its might, it could permanently knock out the whole power grid for miles. Radio and other important frequencies would get scrambled just for being nearby, and most advanced technology wouldn't work. The attack in Ginza would probably result in huge amounts of Japan losing power and a lot of communication equipment being made inoperable. It doesn't just turn off some types of technology, it fries it. The world's governments wouldn't stand a chance ignoring all of that. The setting being in the 1940s might be the only saving grace for the heroes faced with this kind of menace. More complex electrical transistors and grids were less common back then, and vacuum tube technology that is antique by the modern standards would hold up against EMPs a lot better. Operation Waratsumi.
So you're telling me that we went backwards. How did we make shit worse? To try and make technology better, we made it more susceptible to EMPs. What the heck is wrong with us?
might have to go from a desperate struggle by a small group into a national effort to use the one plan that might work to stop this nightmare.
Drop a EMP on his ass.
And as the movie showed, there's no guarantee it would succeed. Killing a vengeful force of nature is not simple.
Oh, bro. Please do check out their merch as well, by the way. Insane. But that was insane, bro. If Godzilla Minus One evolves, it would literally wipe out the planet. We would stand no chance whatsoever. And we would probably just go to war against each other because we are idiots. But that... Bro, it would be so sick to see. Maybe the next movie? Maybe a bit of a upgrade? Would be insane. But that was so cool. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed as well, because that I had a great time. Yeah. We'll see you guys in the next one. If you did enjoy, please like, subscribe, and go check out Goji Center, check out their merch. And yeah, peace out.